Hey fam, welcome to Driven Life TV. Today we're going to be talking about the subject of becoming a stepfather. Okay, this is a controversial topic, I know, but I've had it in my heart for a long time, and I want to really give my thoughts on this subject and also maybe draw from the experience of others in this same area. And I want to give informed decisions to young men, especially those who have never married before. Okay, so this video is for those who have never married before. And so, what do they do if they are faced with a choice of whether to marry someone who is a single mother or not? What do you do? So, let us dive into this. Now, this subject is really becoming a very important one, especially in our time right now. I think with the rise of feminism, what has happened is there have been so many young girls who are becoming baby mamas at a very young age. So many people are reckless with their sexual choices. And so what ends up happening is they end up having children out of wedlock. And so these people end up being people who really want to have a family. And so after making a few mistakes, they want now to get a serious man and then marry them. And then they end up having a family with that person. But now, if you are a young man, should you tolerate the idea of marrying someone who already has a kid? So today we're going to dive into it, man. We're not going to hold back. We need to really have an honest conversation. Now, to do this, we're going to watch a video, okay? Two videos, actually. I want you to stick with me. It's controversial, but I want you to stick with me. We're going to watch two videos that are going to give us some perspective, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Let us dive into this together.
You a sucker if you a step parent. Straight like that. So I got two stepdaughters, right? One of them shipping out to the army in about a month. So yesterday we sitting on the couch, we chopping it up, bucka. You know how I go? And she's like, yeah, I had to make a will and I had to put people in charge of my body and my money. God forbid anything happen. So I'm all engaged. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Nothing's gonna happen to you, a pretty girl, and you kinda smart, so they probably gonna have you in the office. But she's like, yeah, but you never know, because they gonna give me a gun. I get that, but you're gonna be straight. But she goes, just in case though. But if I do die, I left everything to my dad. So I paused for a second. I said, huh? Yeah, I left everything to my dad. I figured like he'll do the right thing. I said, everything? Yeah. I said, the car? Yeah. I bought you the car. All your jewelry? Yeah. I bought you that. I bet. You know what? You're right. Your dad a good guy. Pucka. I ain't even.
So what you're saying there is a young daughter, okay? This is a stepfather who actually took in two ladies, two daughters, to become his own children. Okay, so this woman came with two daughters, becomes a stepfather to them, and then when they are all grown up, he has sponsored them their school fees and all those things. Now, this one is joined the army, and then she's about to be shipped out. She says, I wrote my will and things like that, because anything can happen in the war zone where she's going. And so she says that I wrote my will, I designated everything that I have to particular people. Then she says, I left everything to my biological dad. Okay. And so what you have to understand is this man is in a position where he has done everything for this girl. This man is in a position where he has raised this girl as if it's his own daughter. And so after everything he has done for her, she says that I'm going to leave everything for my biological dad. Okay? Now, I want you to understand that you cannot really understand the pain that comes with that. But I hope that you get it just by looking at what I'm sharing with you. The pain that this man had. Because this video goes on. The reason why I've not played the rest of it is because there's bad language at the end. So I don't want that language to be on this channel. So he goes on to say later on, she ends up asking for help from him again. And then he's like, no, I'm not helping you after this. How can you give your dad everything when he did nothing, but I did everything? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Now, I want you to read with me the comments that are on this video, okay? Now, that's the first person here says, I raised two stepkids that I raised for 14 years, and after divorce, they stopped talking to me. That's the first person. Then here someone says, I agree, I'm a stepdad. I will never do it again. I raised my stepkids with the best of my ability. I could have from the age of 3 to 18. And now I'm just no one to them. But I'm the reason they're in college because their dad is a deadbeat. They abandoned him as well. Okay? And someone says, I've been there, done that, and I'm glad it's over. I worry about my own kids. No more stepkids again. Unappreciated. Okay? Someone says, I will adopt 5 kids before dating or marrying a single mother. Okay? I will never do it again, period. Another man saying it. Hey, I'm telling you right now that there's so many, and then someone says the most thankless job in the world. What I want you to understand is so many men have done this before, and the results are usually there for everyone to see. Now, I want you to understand that these things that are happening to men right now, they are not really dependent on whether your woman loves you or not. The kid will respond the way the kid wants to respond. And most likely that kid may not really view you as an authoritative figure in her life. Most likely she will go back to her biological father. Most likely you will never have the position in her life that her biological father will have. I'm telling you the truth. And so if you are ready to face that reality, go ahead. Okay, maybe this is something from America and someone is like, no, that's just American stuff. Maybe let's get a perspective for someone from Africa, someone closer to home. Let's listen to this video right here. Okay, listen to this.
Young man, do not be a stepfather. Do not be a stepfather. If you really want best life, if you really want to have a life with authority over your wife and over your children, don't be a stepfather. Let me tell you, and I'll give you the reason. Today I'm not mentioning a single mother because I can see when I mention it, people want to kill me. Now, a stepfather is a father with no authority to the stepchildren. We will jump up and down, but when we come to fact check this on the ground, our emotion will not negate the result this statistic will give. Children that are in the hands of the stepfathers today, they are the most rude, and they are people who do not take direction. Why? A stepfather is a father with no authority. You can never discipline that child. And as I'm speaking today, there are stepfathers that when the stepchild makes a mistake, he hands that child to the mother to beat or punish, which this mother will not do, because this mother is a mother to her and also is a protector, and a protector will not dare harm the person is protecting, and in this case is the child. A stepfather is not something that will be appreciated. You will be called a simp today. Let me ask you a question. If the biological father is being called...
Anyway, so you get the gist of it. So there are so many men who have experienced this before. Okay, now I want you to understand that not every relationship with these dynamics actually ends up the same way. There's some relationships that actually work out well. The people actually give each other the right roles. You find that the single mother gives the guy his rightful place. And you find that the biological father does not intervene. Everything is just smooth. There's a family there. The children actually appreciate their father. But that is very rare. It's a small percentage. What I want you to understand is the normal occurrence is that what ends up happening there is the man, once he steps into that relationship, especially if he has never had children before, you're just a young man, and then you marry a single mother, you have no authority. Number 2, the children will always give the biological father a place that you will never have. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so there's a hurt that comes with that you cannot really understand. And sometimes the children may not even respect you as much. Okay. I want you to understand this. Now, someone says being a stepfather should be considered a punishable offense. This says being a stepfather is like building on someone else's land. That's interesting. Okay. What I want you to understand today is I don't want you to be naive. I don't want you to just romanticize everything that you see in movies. Movies have painted a picture of this thing being nice and beautiful, being a noble thing to do. I get it. It's one thing to develop an orphanage, to have an organization where you can look after and mentor children who have no fathers. It's one thing to look after from a distance children of other people. Say you can be coming for mentorship every day. It's one other thing, but it's another thing to say, I'll become the father of this person. Being a stepfather is not the same as adoption. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because this biological father is around. Okay? This person's biological father is around. And so the dynamic will affect you in a negative way to a certain level. And so I want you to be informed in your decision. I want you to understand that it's not really as nice as you think. I would really want you as a young man to say, I'm a young man. I've not made mistakes at all in this area of life. I've not blundered. I've not had kids out of wedlock. And because of that, give yourself a clean slate. Start with someone who has not done the same. For the sake of your own future, do that. Do single mothers deserve to have a father to their kids? For sure. But maybe someone who also has kids. Do single fathers deserve to have a mother to their kids? For sure. Probably someone who also has kids. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So make sure as a young man, you don't willingly get into these things. Okay? Now, someone will say, isn't it a noble thing for someone to take responsibility, especially in a circumstance where a single mother is struggling to raise her kids? What I'll tell you is this, and never forget it. You never take responsibility for other people's actions. You take responsibility for your own actions. Do not willingly take in other people's consequences. Make sure you walk your own path and let God give you grace for your own journey. Now, if God has called you to this journey, fine and good. Go ahead, because He provides grace for His callings. If He calls you for this, it means He will give you grace to do it. But if God has not called you for it, my friend, start with a clean slate. That will help you. Tell me in the comment section below. Let's have an honest conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Until next time, have a good one.